Alright, it's going. It's on. We're recording.
Alright.
Hey, Mitchell.
Hi, Chris.
It's good to see you again. We haven't tried to do this 5 times in a row already.
We haven't?
No.
Oh.
Okay.
They don't know that.
So, what game are we playing?
Campo Santo Presents.
I haven't heard of that one. No, we're playing Firewatch.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Yeah, by Campo Santo.
In cooperation with Panic Inc.
I don't know who those people are. I think they just helped publish it. It was developed...
They cooperated. We're in Boulder, Colorado, 1975.
Yeah, we don't need to read everything on the screen.
Okay.
The audience can read.
Can they?
Well, presumably.
What about this part? We need to read that, right?
Well, you saw Julia. Everybody sees her. I have to take a second to figure out that, yeah, you click on it. I thought it was just telling me that you can see Julia. So yeah, we both played this game. You played it when it came out. I played it, a year later?
Yeah, well.
A long time. I played it only a little while ago, really. But we both liked it. Mitchell quite liked it, I think.
I liked it a lot, yes.
Yeah.
I still like it a lot. Liked is not the right thing.
Well, I think that it's a really good story-driven game, but the problem is that it's not much of a game. It's more of like a walking simulator where you only ever have to walk one place. You don't make any, besides from these text dialogue choices we're seeing here at the beginning, you don't make any real choices in this game, and you also, you just do what it tells you to do, and you can't do anything other than what it tells you to do. I think someone was murdered in this parking lot.
They probably were. I think you did it. That's why you have to go into the woods.
Run and hide?
Yeah.
Well, then why does it keep talking about my wife? Oh, wait. I see.
Yeah.
We murdered our wife.
You did.
That's the twist.
She was sick.
Spoilers ahead.
Undoubtedly.
That is a joke. We didn't murder our wife, but we will be talking about this whole game and the end of this game, even though we only see about the first, 30 minutes to an hour of it. So be forewarned if you continue watching for whatever reason.
You picked the Beagle puppy.
I did, because it was more closely related to the dogs that I have now.
Oh.
And also, I think Mayhem's a dumb name for a dog. Bucket's a better dog name.
Bucket's good.
Did you choose to have kids when you did this?
No. No.
No. You don't want kids.
No, I don't.
No. Why not?
Because I like dogs.
You can have dogs and children. I think that's part of the American dream nuclear family. Of the 2.5 kids and a dog and a cat, just like The Simpsons.
But I like dogs.
So do kids.
I don't like kids.
Why not?
My life isn't the question here.
Well, not you, Henry.
Henry.
Why doesn't Henry like?
Oh, we're not talking about me.
No, God, don't be so full of yourself.
Yeah, I think I chose the same thing with Henry.
So what do you do here? Did you get mad or did you ignore her when she came home drunk 4 hours late without talking to you?
Oh, I was mad.
You mad?
Yeah.
I was mad too. Fuck her. She tells you to go fuck yourself. But you hurt her feelings.
She knows you mean it.
Yeah, this game was developed by some of the old Telltale Walking Dead staff. Jake Rodkin and Sean Vanneman.
Is that right?
Yeah, and I feel like that's where a lot of this beginning stuff came from. Kind of the choices where you can say this or this and it, reflects your view of the character, but in the end it does not matter at all.
It makes a lot of sense though, because I've looked at this game ever since I played it as just a walking storybook.
Yeah.
And the Walking Dead games are very, very similar in that aspect. You're not really playing a game, you're playing a story.
Yes, but that's kind of the problem with a lot of those games, I think, and I think the Walking Dead Season 2 did better than the first, maybe, is that it did a more coherent job of trying to make it an actual game. And I'm just going to make this video bigger a little bit for us here.
I can't see it.
Yeah, it's tiny in the corner. That's better.
Oh, I see it now.
Yes. Forget how big my screen is sometimes.
Is that a euphemism?
Catch me after another glass of wine. Yes, we're trying to class it up here. I thought it was a little too rough and rowdy on our last record. We had a lot of voices, all of them with about the same sounds. And it's hard to tell us apart. And we thought it might be better to get a little more intimate. And
Hence the wine.
Mitchell and I are sharing a nice couple of bottles of wine.
Couple.
Well, it is wine. It's very weak. It's the weakest you can buy. It's only 13% alcohol.
Okay.
What did you do here? Did you agree or did you tell her not to take the job?
Don't take it. I don't want to go.
You didn't tell her to take it?
No.
Well, that's very Marshall from How I Met Your Mother of you.
That's the way I live my life.
So if your wife got a library job far away, you would tell her not to take it?
That's actually not true at all. I'm a liar.
You would just go.
Probably, yeah, I go. Think so.
This broke immersion for me a little bit because I don't think I would ever watch Dallas on TV.
No. I mean, you gotta think Farrah Fawcett, do you? Was she in Dallas?
I don't know. Like I said, I would never watch it on TV, and had never.
I think she was.
I thought she was the Baywatch.
I think she was the Dallas. Oh my God, there's penis.
Oh, yes. Too bad we couldn't get a longer look at it, I guess. It's weird that that's the page he has bookmarked.
No. He liked that picture. We are Henry.
Yes.
We like that picture.
We do.
Yes.
It's a good beginning. I think it does a lot to bring you in and make you empathetic towards the character before you ever really get into the gameplay. But it does feel a little stilted after a while. But I think it's almost over at this point. It's quite a depressing little story of your wife getting early onset Alzheimer's. And you becoming even more of an alcoholic. I think that was one of the other reasons I quite like this game, was because you are a writer and you're an alcoholic, and
I don't think it said you're a writer.
Well, you have a typewriter and you write every day, and every new day when you wake up you can look.
It's more like a therapeutic journal, right?
Well, most writing is, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose.
And I feel like one of the reasons he's a writer is because this game took a lot of inspiration from Stephen King and Stanley Kubrick's version of The Shining. Both of the main characters are alcoholics, both of them are writers, both of the stories deal with major themes of isolation, both have typewriters, and both of them are kind of unreliable narrators that you start to not really trust as the story goes on.
I will tell you, I've never read The Shining. I've seen The Shining like one time.
Well, that's more of what we're going for here.
But I'm kind of a scaredy.
You're scared. You're a scaredy cat.
I'm a scaredy, yes.
So
like when the elevator opens and the blood comes pouring out, that's enough.
That you didn't continue watching?
No, I don't.
You never saw the old naked lady in the bathtub? Or the two twin girls in the murdered hallway?
I'm a dull boy.
All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy.
Well, I'm a dull boy.
You're a dull boy.
Yeah, I was trying to go for that joke, but it didn't land.
No, I didn't get what you were trying to say.
Yeah. Well, maybe they did. Did they? Did you?
Leave us a note in the comments if you thought Mitchell was funny.
I'm not funny.
You take it. You don't have a choice.
No, you don't.
And here's the game, finally, after 9 minutes of intro text.
I love this game. It's so pretty.
It is a very pretty game. This game was made on the Unity engine, actually. One of the interesting things about this is that the environmental artist, Jane something Asian, Jane Ung, I think. That's not a joke. I really do think it's Jane Ung, the NG last name that they have.
That they have.
She didn't like any of the trees or the tree making kits that were available in the Unity engine, and so she handcrafted all 23 different species of trees that are featured in this little section of Wyoming in the game.
So she's a regular Bob Ross. With her happy little trees.
They are quite happy, I think. Yes,
that was another joke that just didn't land.
I thought it was fine. You need to stop worrying about if your joke's land. There's not a laugh track, so you're not going to know if you're funny or not.
We need one.
Just press it every now and then.
that would at random times it don't even apply.
That would make this a unique podcast if it had its own laugh track. That's not a bad idea.
Next video, folks.
Yep.
Laugh track.
Yeah, it'll maybe we'll do that tomorrow when the whole office is here. Ah, yes, a pine cone.
I like pine
cones. I'm fucking excited about this.
Why'd you throw it away?
Well, because the radio's going on. I have to pick up the radio.
You don't have to.
She was screaming at me. Don't worry, I don't forget about the pine cone.
Also, this game.
I'm going to turn that down a little bit. Picking up on the
really, really great voice acting.
Do you know who did the voices for these characters?
I did at one point, but I don't know now.
Oh, that's not a great story.
Not really.
No.
Do you know?
I do not. I didn't write that down either.
Oh, well.
I do know that these in-game fire towers are built to the actual government specifications. How does that information strike you?
Wonderful. What about that water jug? Is that to specifications?
From Coleman, probably. I don't think they would allow their name to be displayed there if it wasn't.
I didn't notice that.
You didn't notice that? Oh, yeah, there's product placement all over this for fake stuff and real stuff.
Okay. Ooh, the Lookout Cookbook.
Yeah.
How to make your grits in a tiny house.
Doesn't matter what size your house is to make grits.
Tell it to the northern folk.
Delilah sure is a chatty bitch. Alright, this is something that also is very reminiscent of The Shining, is smash cuts at the end of days. You know, you'll be right in the middle of a conversation, and then all of a sudden it'll just go, burn, day 2. And that was something else that Kubrick's Shining did very well.
Dead air.
No, we're reading.
Oh, we're reading. I'm sorry.
Yes. Yeah. Be silent as we admire Henry's hard work.
Okay.
That he has apparently stayed up all night. You're bleeding.
Yeah, man.
What did you do?
This happened the other day.
You just started bleeding?
Yeah, it's just...
You got a scratch?
I don't know.
Here. I've got a rag right here.
Give me that.
Well, we're putting our blood, sweat, and tears into this podcast.
Quite literally.
There's the pine cone.
Yes. We didn't forget about that pine cone.
No, I would never forget about it. I'll just put it with the other stack. It's not going to fit in there. Stupid sink not being textured properly. First I thought I was going to take it outside. We had to tread on that.
Don't tread on that.
Got to. It's right in front of the door. And there's another pine cone, so we'll add it to the collection.
Okay. We're just going to have the collection behind the stove.
Yeah, it's going to stay under the stove. It's hidden from intruders.
Next to the Clorox bleach.
Yes, because I've played this game before, so I know I'm going to get robbed later. I want to make sure they don't get my pine cone stash.
Spoiler.
You said it was coming. I don't think Suds is a real brand, but it might be. I don't live in Wyoming.
I mean, I believe it. But it doesn't do you any good on the bed.
No, you have to just get rid of all this stuff.
Okay.
I kind of clean up a good bit in this game, I think. And I also throw some trash onto the ground to make sure it, all evens out in the big karmatic scale. How's your blood doing?
It's bloody.
Are you gonna die?
I'm alive.
Should we stop the record?
Nah.
Okay.
I'm a trooper.
You're good. Well, you'll like this. I'm arranging all the books.
Yeah, we need to make us a library. A good library is invaluable in the Firewatch universe.
I'm just going to place that back on the shelf. Yeah, look for these fireworks.
For a minute.
Well, she said something about fireworks, but I wasn't really paying attention. I was too busy fucking with the books.
You!
Delilah. She is the worst.
Did you ask her what it's like in New York City?
I don't remember. Is that this early on, or is that later in the game?
No, that's a shitty song reference.
Oh. That was another joke.
Oh, yeah.
Hashtag is Mitchell funny.
Somebody out there thinks I am.
My money's on no.
Somebody. If there's one person that thinks I'm funny, that's all I need. That's it. My wife would have laughed at that.
Well,
but she ain't here, is she?
No, she's not. And you're here bleeding to death in my couch. Oh, it looks like it's stopping.
Yeah, so I should force more out of it.
I was about to say, just squeeze it then. Good God. It's disgusting. We should get a video feed of this.
Nobody wants to see that.
No, we want to see these trees.
Then
all 23 of them.
I want to volunteer in Wyoming. Supplies for somebody. It went too fast. I couldn't see it. You know, I don't know if I ever took the time to actually look at the rafters and see all the...
You didn't look around at all this stuff?
I mean, I wanted to figure out what was going on, so maybe I didn't take the time to look at the little details.
I think it's the little details that make games like this, because if you don't enjoy those, then there's not really much else for you. You just go where they tell you and do what they say and listen to them talk. There's no, and that's not to say that every game has to have, shooting enemies and action and murder. But there needs to be some sort of game to it. There needs to be some sort of task that you can accomplish that with something that's standing in your way. There's nothing standing in your way in this game besides your own lack of navigation skills.
Right.
As long as you can use that compass and use that map like I'm doing right now, you can beat this game.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to use any kind of quick reflexes. You don't have to use any real brain power. I don't consider looking at a map brain power.
It still provides you with plenty of tension, just dramatic tension. You don't have to have somebody attacking you to be,
Not somebody, but they make a big stink in this game. There's flyers that we saw at the beginning, and later on there's some text about a bear loose in the woods. But we never see a bear. We never encounter a bear. I think being attacked by a bear, be it a random encounter or just happening at some point throughout the story, would have been a great addition to this game. But instead, it's just there as something that could have happened.
Mm-hmm.
Here's one of our supply boxes. Henry's going to report it because he has to tell Delilah about every little thing that he sees in the entire world.
You don't have to.
Well, no, you don't. But, for that being what the game is, you feel like you're missing out if you don't.
I feel like anybody can figure out 1, 2, 3, 4 is the code. It's not really a secure combination.
Well, it's not. But it is strange that all of them have the same combination. It's an interesting twist to the whole locking mechanism, where you just have to remember one code and change a whole bunch of codes to make it right. And then later, of course, they change it to 5, 6, 7, 8.
They changed it to something. I don't remember.
I think it's 5, 6, 7. Fuck yes, Pinecone.
Yeah.
All right. First, I was gonna throw it, and then I thought, no.
We're gonna eat this granola bar.
Well, She said I don't want to.
So you listen.
The first time through, I did sure eat that granola bar, but this time I said, you know what? Maybe you're right. To hell with that. I'm taking this pine cone home.
Did you have any adverse reactions to the granola bar first time?
I don't remember. But I didn't want to take the chance.
It'd be cool if it made
because I didn't want to lose the pine cone.
When you got food poisoning.
Oh, well then it would just be Far Cry 3 then, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't know.
You didn't play Far Cry 3. That was before you owned a real console.
I love Nintendo.
Love or loved?
Past tense.
Past tense.
Yeah.
So you don't want to go get a Nintendo Switch?
Only for Zelda. But
and the Mario game, wouldn't you say? I thought Mario Odyssey looked quite interesting.
It looks interesting. It just looks weird. Like more than anything, it looks weird. And I'm all for switching up Mario and making it into a new experience. And I love seeing Bowser in his pimp suit.
And he threw his hat just like Oddjob from James Bond at so Mario. Good. And the throwing hat mechanism just seems to be a thing in this game, because you saw where Mario threw his hat, jumped on top of his hat, bounced off, and then his hat flew back onto his head. And that's a new one, and I think that could really change up the whole normal platforming style.
I will never lose my love for Mario, for Zelda, but
I'm so happy to have this pine cone. Put it with the rest. Yes.
But does that, equate $300?
Well, I think that's really the problem with consoles in general, is that, it used to be people bought consoles because PCs were too expensive, and they wanted something that they could just put a game in and play instantly. But now that we've gotten to the point where new consoles are almost as expensive as low-end PCs, they come out with an almost tri-yearly basis, that it almost seems worthless to spend all that money on something that's just going to be irrelevant in another 3 years. I have an Xbox One right there. There's already an Xbox One S out.
Mm-hmm. I have a PlayStation 4 that I love. My first PlayStation that I've ever bought. I turned 30 years old, and I felt bad about myself. So I said, you know what? I'm going to buy a PlayStation. And I bought it, and I love it, and I haven't looked back. And the PlayStation has taken over my living room. It's my TV, it's my game system, it's my Netflix box, my Hulu box.
But you know what it's not? A PS4 Pro.
It's not a PS4 Pro.
Which is already a new thing.
Do I have a 4K TV? No. Do I care
that it's not a 4K TV?
No, it's not
as big as it is.
No. It's just.
I guess it is kind of old at this point. Yeah. That was a wedding present, wasn't it?
It was, yes.
So it's 7 years old.
Yeah, 7 years old.
Yeah. I got that right this time. You called me out on it the other day when I got it wrong. And it
wasn't the other day. It was like an hour ago.
It wasn't like an hour ago.
Well, like 5 hours ago.
Whatever. Multiple bottles of wine because we're classy. How are you liking this classy interview, listener? Viewer? Whatever you are. I don't even know if this is a podcast or a Let's Play. Oh, look, it told me I could run. I thought I could, but I didn't know until now. That's right. From now on, we'll go through the rest of this video at a breakneck speed. It is quite pretty. They made their own shading textures for this game that work really well and give it a really unique look. This whole game actually was started because one artist drew an image of the Colorado-Wyoming wilderness.
Is that right?
Yeah, the artist's name was Ollie Moss, or Mass. Can't read my own writing. It's not really that important, I guess. It probably says in the credits.
You actually came into this somewhat prepared, huh?
Yeah, well, I didn't have a lot to do after I woke up from my nap.
It's a hard life.
It's a hard life for a writer / chef / video game producer. I just fell on my ass.
What's it to you, Delilah? I don't trust her.
The way they spelled Christ's sake there always bothers me. I've seen it before like that, but I feel like it isn't Christ's sake if there's no T. It's not Christ. The way they write it just looks like Chris' sake, which isn't anything. It's a pet peeve of mine.
I didn't notice.
No, not many people do. It's not really important.
Okay. So. Yes.
I guess we have. What else do we want to say about Firewatch? I think the problem here, getting into the depths of why I wanted to make a video on this game in the first place.
Alright, yeah, let's do that. Let's get all our bases covered.
Yeah,
and then we'll just talk nonsense for the rest of it.
Yes, alright, so what I wanted to say, which I think I've already said, but I'll reiterate, is that there could have been so much more of a game here. When I first heard about this game, I was very excited. You were alone. You were supposed to sit in the tower, look for fires, look for dangerous things, go out, prevent them, and it would be a whole interactive story. And it was, to an extent. But at the same time, it was also a very linear and very short story. This whole game can be completed in, what, like 3 hours?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, like 2.5, 3 hours. And with just a little bit more effort and a little bit better pacing, I feel like this game could have been very, very special. This is the first day that we're watching right now, that we've been watching so far. And in this first day, we encounter these people who are shooting off fireworks. But we also had day 0, which was us getting there. So we've already had the introduction, and now we're already on to our first job. We get to a campsite, it's full of beer cans, we have to put out a little campsite, we decide whether we're going to steal some alcohol or not, we confiscate some fireworks, and that could have been the end of the first day. But instead, we continue on and we find these kids, and we scare them off. And then that could have been the end of the first day. And then after that, something else happens. Won't spoil it, just for fun. We'll spoil other things.
I found a backpack.
I found lots of stuff.
I'm surprised that you actually took the time to clean the beer cans.
I did that in my first playthrough as well, because if we're going to play a game like this, I feel like you have to give it your all and get the most out of it. And this is, after all, the forest. Why would you just leave your cans lying around? What are you, an asshole?
Well, apparently.
Did you not clean the beer cans when you played?
I cleaned a couple of them, and then...
And then you gave up?
Yeah, I gave up.
What kind of a lazy-ass Henry were you?
The laziest.
Well, I kept trying to stomp this fire out, but the prompt wouldn't go away.
Okay.
So I just keep doing it. Make sure that fucker's gone.
I disagree with you.
About what?
About the fact that...
Now, before you get into disagreeing with me,
okay.
I will agree. I will say that this was a little moral decision that I made that was completely, organic. The game didn't prompt me. It actually prompted me to tell Delilah, hey, look, bottle of whiskey, but I don't. I pick it up and I save it for me, and I don't say anything about it to her. And that was something that I consciously did, and that's a good decision to have. I thought that was a nice touch. I don't think it affected anything, but it was still kind of nice.
But you still have it. It remains in your cabin for the rest of the days, or the rest of your stay. So it doesn't really impact anything. You just get to look at it and reminisce.
Well,
about your
there.
bad decisions.
It's there, and I do think that maybe there have been mornings later on in the game where you wake up and some things are knocked over. Or something else has occurred that would make it think that Henry got drunk off of that bottle of whiskey in the middle of the night.
Okay. Do you think those would have happened regardless?
Well, I don't know. I haven't played it through. I would imagine yes. But I would hate to go through again and do entirely different choices. Because I did that with a Walking Dead game, and I kind of, it ruined it a little bit. Ooh, a bra! Look at the bra. There's naked women in these woods.
Somewhere's around here.
What is this? Could it be?
That's a pair of panties.
Oh, boy. Look at the way he holds it. Why would you pick it up?
Alright, so you complain a lot about...
I don't complain a lot. What are you talking about?
About you don't think that there's enough action in
Right.
the game. You think it's too linear.
Right.
I think it's a living storybook. And these are the kinds of experiences that I want more of. I am not a good gamer. Not that I don't enjoy playing games, just that I am not good at playing them. I want experiences that will make me feel things. I want to be engrossed in the experience of playing the game, but I don't want it to be so overly difficult where I get frustrated and just put it down. This game, you call it what you will, a walking simulator, whatever. It kept me entertained the entire time that I was playing. I never felt overwhelmed. There's nice dramatic tension and payoffs, great payoffs throughout the entire game. And it's a pleasant experience. It's like you're watching, a movie or a great television series, but you're
Well, it's
involved
funny
in
that you
all
should
of it.
say it's like watching a movie, because I did read in doing my research for this game that in September of last year, Campo Sampo partnered with team Good Universe to work on a movie motion picture version of this.
Really?
And if you're not familiar with Good Universe, they've produced such movies as Neighbors 2, Sorority Rising.
Oh, that's a good sign.
Which is a Seth Rogen movie. The Night Before, which is also a Seth Rogen movie.
Night Before was hilarious.
And the American remake of Old Boy, starring Josh Brolin, not the original Japanese version.
As Meatloaf would say, 1 out of 3 ain't bad.
Meatloaf would say 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Oh, shit.
I think. I don't quite remember the song.
No, you're right.
I think I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, I listen to Bat Out of Hell a lot.
More.
I quite like that album.
More Is Mitchell Funny Jokes.
# no.
Somebody likes me.
But with that knowledge, I do think that maybe a small bit of the Campo Santo team maybe wanted this to be a movie all along. And,
oh, absolutely.
Well, but then why make it a game at all? I do think that there's a lot
because
to be said.
video games are interactive media.
They are, and interactive media is important. That's why I like making games, is because it's the best medium for getting you to identify with a character. But I don't feel like we should keep so haphazardly interchanging movies and games. I don't think that just because a game is a good game, it will make a good movie. I don't think this would be as effective if I saw Henry. I think it's better being a first-person game. And this was something that you were saying earlier when we were watching the Resident Evil 7 review, which looks exactly the same as the demo, like I said that it would.
It does, yes.
And features cannibals, just like a House of a Thousand Corpses, and
eating eyeballs and stuff.
No Resident Evil game ever yet. But I don't usually like first person on the whole. Like, I like first person shooters post or pre 2005 ish. I don't know. Whenever Medal of Honor stopped making fun Medal of Honor games is when I stopped being into first person shooters.
After Perfect Dark.
Oh man, Perfect Dark. That's the game we should do a video of.
Yeah, we should.
And it'll just be us playing multiplayer with Dark Sims.
Cut to everybody dying.
On the complex level on repeat. and it's just me throwing laptop guns and using the Farsight and being that douchebag.
And me just having a red screen.
Next time, Joanna. That's probably one of the few aliens in video games that you haven't been afraid of.
No.
It was Elvis. Or were you scared of Elvis too?
He was creepy, but I wasn't scared of him.
He wore American flag underwear.
He did. So, I mean, how can you be afraid of that?
Exactly.
I mean,
he was a true American hero after you rescued him from the secret government base.
Yeah, which was very difficult.
That was a hard level. It was a hard game after the I think it was Perfect Dark was easy up until the Air Force One mission. And then after that it got kind of stupid hard.
Like right when you had to rescue Elvis is when
that
change in difficulty.
Yeah, it's the crash and then the Area 51 and then after that is what the submarine.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck that level.
Yeah, the Air Force One is my favorite.
It's one of the easier levels, and it is real fun because it's open and you can do a lot of sniping, but you also have the little jet bikes.
You can get the cyclone.
They did they did jet bikes and cool weapons way before Halo ever did.
Absolutely, Halo stole everything from Perfect Dark. Everything, alien weaponry.
Suck my dick, Microsoft.
Already done. I mean, you can't take away from Rare on that one. Perfect Dark was the epitome of everything that
It took everything that GoldenEye did and made it 10 times better, and more.
Did you ever play the World Is Not Enough game that came after GoldenEye? Terrible.
It wasn't
terrible. Not Rare.
Well,
not Rare.
It wasn't a Rare game. It was more it was a licensed James Bond game.
I think it was EA.
I've played a lot of licensed James Bond games, and I quite like most of them. There's something inherently fun about being James Bond. And I don't remember. I think it was Nightfire, 007 Nightfire. But one of the games has a race on a bridge. You're on your motorcycle and you're hauling ass down the bridge.
That's not even a real thing.
Oh, it's the coolest fucking level though. It doesn't matter. I think it was its own story. It wasn't even a James Bond movie.
That's what I'm saying. It's not even real.
So who cares? I think that
wasn't
Bond,
Rare though.
It doesn't. We're not talking about Rare anymore.
I thought we were.
Well, now I'm just on James Bond.
Okay, James Bond.
The thing about James Bond. This is really related to Firewatch.
I like Firewatch.
Jesus Christ.
Firewatch
Jesus
is good.
Christ, Mitchell.
I didn't do nothing.
You're going to break the microphone.
You're going to break the microphone.
This is terrible radio etiquette.
I'm going to break your face.
Fill up my wine glass as well. I'll do it.
All right, you do it.
Good God. Your blood loss has gotten to your head.
Oh, yeah. It's too thin.
Now, is this a Merlot? Because I bought a Merlot.
This is just
just says dark red blend.
It's just a red blend, man.
What the fuck does that mean?
It means it's probably a Merlot with
it means it's probably garbage.
All kinds of shit put together.
There's a night on it.
It's the acid of all the red wines just combined into one that tastes pretty alright.
Alright, well let's get back on topic here.
Okay.
I feel like we're meandering.
Alright.
So yeah, that cave.
That cave.
Do you remember what was in that cave?
I remember what was in that cave.
Tell the audience what's in that cave.
There's a dead body of a little boy in that cave.
No context.
Come
to your own conclusions.
Am I wrong about the cave?
No, there is. There's a figure there that was watching you, and spoiler alert, that figure is...
Not that I just didn't ruin the whole damn thing.
Well, yeah, not that it wasn't spoiled already, but that figure is a man who used to have your job who now lives in the woods because his son died, and he doesn't want to go home and face the music of him illegally bringing his son out on this job expedition. And it's heavily implied that he killed his son. But did he really?
Dun dun dun!
Probably. But maybe not. It's hard to tell. What do you think?
I don't think he killed the boy.
You don't think he did?
No, I think the boy died from a tragic accident, and the father did nothing to prevent or what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, he didn't prevent. He didn't try to.
No, it's just fun watching you flounder, man. Not gonna lie.
Remedy. He didn't prevent.
Remedy Entertainment made a bunch of games too.
He didn't prevent nor remedy said situation.
To remedy his son dying, what was he gonna do? Just shove a stim pack in his chest and
maybe report the damn thing.
Yeah, that is something that you would have felt like he would have done.
Yeah.
Is to call the police after his son fell and broke his neck.
We need to put in the taglines of the videos, like, please play the thing before you watch this.
Well, I think we said spoiler alert at the beginning, so
we said it a bunch of times, but
I'm gonna call this video "Why Firewatch is Shitty," so I don't think people will watch it without playing it. I'm not gonna call it that.
I don't think you should, because it's not true.
It's not. But we do need a name for this.
Firewatch and other things.
Catchy.
Is it?
No.
Oh. I thought I was doing good.
Well, I lied. Let's talk about something else.
Alright, tell me.
Alright, so, hey Mitchell.
Hey Chris.
You're a big Star Wars fan, right?
I am. I'm a very big Star Wars fan.
Yeah, you are. God knows why.
Because it's awesome.
Because when you were born, there was nothing but poorly made, bad acting movies out.
You don't know my life.
I know your age.
Dude.
30?
No!
1.
Okay.
Ha! Anyway. For the 4th time in your life. No, I'm sorry, for the 5th time in your life then.
5th time in my life.
There's a new Star Wars title. It's accurate. The 5th time. All 3 previews and then the Force Awakens. And I'm not counting Rogue One.
You should.
Whatever.
So
all right.
If we're going saga films, it's 5.
Oh my god.
If we're going Star Wars films, it's 6. Just saying.
You're a douchebag. The Last Jedi is the name of the new Star Wars movie.
That was
what do you
really
think
loud.
about
I can tell by the little bars on the screen.
Sure was.
You yelled right on top of the microphone. I don't like it.
You don't like it. What don't you like about it?
I don't think many people such as myself like it.
What do you mean when you say many people such as myself?
I took that on for too long.
Hashtag is Mitchell funny. Hashtag no.
Hashtag yes. I don't like saying hashtag anything.
Then don't
I don't
do
want
it.
Yeah, why did I? I don't understand. I don't know myself. No.
I want to do this every week.
No, I don't like The Last Jedi. I think The Last Jedi is a stronger title than The Force Awakens. I think that The Last Jedi should have replaced The Force Awakens and been the first movie. In the history of the Star Wars franchise, the second movie in the chapter is always a more sinister title. We have, first off, Revenge, we'll go original trilogy. We have the second film is The Empire Strikes Back. It is the darkest film in the entire series. There is no resolution for our heroes. And
now, do you think, not to interrupt you, but
did.
I'm going to interrupt you.
Yes.
Now, do you think that The Empire Strikes Back was a darker movie than Rogue One that was just recently released? Or do you think Rogue One was the darker film? Being that in it, spoilers for Rogue One, everyone dies.
I think that The Empire Strikes Back was a darker movie because Rogue One,
smash cut.
We knew what was going to happen.
Stanley Kubrick's funny.
Rogue One is the crawl that happens before Star Wars A New Hope. When the movie starts, you read this paragraph, and that is Rogue One. We knew what was going to happen. We knew it was going to be dark. The Empire Strikes Back kicks you in the balls and says, you like these people? Well, we're going to fuck their lives up right now. And by the time that movie's over,
Well, yeah, nobody looks good when that movie's over. No one's
Our
in a good
heroes
position.
don't know what they're going to do with themselves. I say our heroes, but really,
You're everyone's heroes.
not mine.
Not yours. Who's your hero?
I'm going Empire all the way. All day, every day.
So in your internal canon, you think the Empire is the heroes of the Star Wars universe.
Well, yeah.
Why?
Because I'm a Darth Vader fanboy, really, pretty much. But also, I mean, they're the establishment, right? You got all these people.
You want to be a part of the establishment? Has punk rock taught you nothing?
I don't want
to fight the establishment. How can you not side with the rebels if they're fighting the Empire that's trying to suppress the smaller person?
I don't want to.
I'm speaking to this as someone who doesn't give a shit about Star Wars.
I don't want to go back to the Kevin Smith argument, but what about all the civilian contractors that worked on the Death Star?
Well, that's exactly the Kevin Smith argument.
Well, I said I didn't want to do it, but you forced my hand.
I don't recall doing that. But I'll say this. Not to take the Kevin Smith rebuttal, but they chose that job. Now we're just quoting things.
Yeah, we can't do this anymore.
Look, Manly Thermos. It's a joke. It's the one thing I'm not going to throw. Just going to set it back where it goes.
Let's go back to the start.
Yeah, you were doing your movies in order.
I was doing
for some reason. Look, this is a game called Dr. President. I thought this was hilarious.
I saw that.
I didn't either the first time through. That game's called Dr. President. I feel like it's an operation game.
I mean, all right. So, with The Last Jedi is good. I like it. I like the title.
You just said you didn't like it.
I think it should have been the first movie.
You think the first movie should have been called The Last Jedi?
Yes.
And then this movie should have been called The Force Chokes Someone.
Something like that, yeah. I think the name of the second movie should have been something more sinister.
Do you need to clear your throat? You sound like you're going to die.
I think I am going to die.
Okay. The blood loss?
Yeah, the blood loss. Hold the reins, man. Hold the reins.
What are you doing? Where are you going? I'm being abandoned. Hello, everybody. I'm alone now. Mitchell's gone off to the bathroom. I think he needs to pee. Because we've gone through a bottle and a half of wine. They were large bottles. And we're still watching this Firewatch video that I made. Sure do hate dead air. Wish there was someone to talk to. You know, interestingly, listeners, did you know that I've got nothing for this situation? So I'm going to take a drink. Tastes good. We were drinking Galeo Family Vineyards Merlot, but now we're drinking Ravage, a dark red blend. Oh good, Mitchell's back.
What'd you say?
We can stop just talking about wine now.
You said shit things about me.
I did. All I did was talk shit about you when you were out of the room.
I believe.
I don't like called love.
Just listen to my heart.
Oh man.
You started that shit.
I wish I didn't.
Well, knowing is half the battle.
Nope. Oh man.
What did you say? What did you say?
I literally was just reading wine bottles. This is why we need two people for this. You can't abandon me in the middle of it like that.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I felt like I peed for 5 minutes.
Well,
was I gone for 5 minutes?
It felt like that to me too. So let's move on to another topic that I have here. The Breath of the Wild, the new Zelda game.
Okay.
Its strategy guide. Well, first, what do you think of the Breath of the Wild? You said earlier that was one of the only reasons why you would get a Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, it makes me regret that
I don't want to talk about Star Wars anymore.
I'm not talking about Star Wars.
I know. I'm just letting you know.
Okay. I wasn't bringing up the Star Wars. You know, the only people that don't remember the Star Wars. Well, no, I messed that up entirely. We'll not do that.
Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild.
Strategy guide was pulled from retailers for containing. This is a quote from Nintendo. Far too many secrets that the company is not yet ready to reveal. Which is interesting, I think, because it used to be games were made intentionally dense to sell strategy guides.
Right.
And now, with the internet, I feel like we've gone somewhat in the opposite direction.
I think strategy guides are a thing of the past. I don't understand why it was already on the shelf anyway.
Well, it was pulled from Amazon. It wasn't pulled from shelves. It just I said retailers, but it said in the article Amazon.
Okay.
So I don't know if it was a pre-sale, but that does mean that they're done printing, and so I assume that Nintendo had a look at them and said, "Oh, we can't have these out for pre-sale yet," or something similar.
The only thing about Breath of the Wild is now I regret that I sold my Wii U because I sat around and I waited and I waited and I waited and I never got anything, and I said, screw this, I'm getting rid of it.
I did the exact same thing with my GameCube.
Mm-hmm.
I bought my GameCube under the assumption that I would be getting a new Zelda game because they promised me one when the GameCube was released. And I waited, and I waited, and I waited. And then I gave up because I had already played Pikmin and I had already played Resident Evil 4. And I didn't know what else there was left for me on the GameCube. And so I sold it to EB Games. Then about a week later, the new Zelda trailer for Twilight Princess came out for the Wii. Oh, and also the GameCube.
And also.
They just kind of shoved that in at the end.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, we've got this new console, and we're putting all our time and money and effort into that. Oh, and also, I guess you can have this too. People that have, supported us for the last 15 years.
I told you, I've been the Nintendo guy for all of my life. And all I want is another Zelda game. And Wind Waker, contrary to popular opinion, the Wind Waker is my favorite game of all time.
Whose popular opinion are you contracting?
Most Zelda fans, I believe, I think they believe that Ocarina of Time is the best.
Now, see, I don't know if I agree with that, because I've talked to other Zelda fans on the internets.
Have you?
I have, yes.
Okay.
And much to my dismay.
Much to my dismay.
Yes. Well, I've been an internet Zelda fan for many years. Back when Ocarina of Time was out, I was part of the team of nerds that was looking for the Triforce. Okay. We would go around and there would be all these rumors, and we would try them one by one and try to figure out if the Triforce, because there had been images released for the Japanese version of the game with the menu screen, and it has all of the what do you call them? The stones, the elemental stones from the temples, your medallions, fire medallion, the forest medallion.
Yeah.
They have all those in a circle. In the middle of that circle is the Triforce, and there's an image on the internet of it shaded in, filled in with gold, as if it's been collected.
Okay.
Which was probably done in Photoshop. At the time, we all took it as truth. And
why wouldn't you?
Well, exactly. Well, it was that culminated with the fact that a early screenshot of the Zelda 64DX version, that showed Link opening up a chest and holding the Triforce above his head. That was an actual thing that they made for the Japanese version of Majora's Mask that never got released before it was called Majora's Mask.
Okay.
Irrelevant to a lot of stuff. But it was a hint in the direction that there was a Triforce in Ocarina of Time somewhere hidden if you did enough stupid bullshit things. and it was a laundry list of stupid bullshit things. Like everything from naming your character a certain name just to get to one spot of the game for this one thing to happen, to quests that were more intricate than the way to get the Biggorin sword, just to open up like these areas in the game that never even existed. And it was almost as if fan fiction writers in the early days of the internet, that was how they let loose their creativity, was making these ridiculous bullshit Zelda rumors. And we followed the majority of them.
And did you get anything?
No, not a thing. I learned a couple of neat tricks. I learned the swordless link trick, which is where you use the hover boots and the fishing pole to be able to use all of your items on the back of the horse.
Okay.
And I learned a pretty neat trick where if you lift the cartridge halfway up at an angle in the N64, you can get past Mido and leave the forest without ever going to the Dooku tree in the beginning.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's that's another swordless type trick. But in that way, you still get the ocarina. And a couple of other things that were real interesting, but no Triforce. And it was quite depressing. I forget why we started talking about this.
Yeah, well, I told you I thought Wind Waker was my favorite, contrary to popular belief.
I think my favorite is Majora's Mask.
Okay.
It
comes full circle.
It comes full circle for no reason. Majora's Mask, I think, is a game about suicide and depression, and I quite identify with that.
That's all well and good, but Wind Waker is fun. There you have it.
It is fun. Talk about screaming.
I'm sorry.
Wind Waker is a very fun game. I quite like the sailing. I quite like all of the hidden things. I like digging for treasure. I didn't like the pictograph. I feel like that was when Zelda started trying to be trendy. Before that, Zelda was always kind of a dorky thing, and that's one of the reasons why I liked it. But in Wind Waker, it started to be trendy with the pictograph, and I didn't like that.
You know, in Wind Waker HD, you could do selfies.
Fucking terrific.
Did you know that?
I did not.
Oh, yeah.
And I wish I didn't now.
Not only could you do selfies, you could do selfies and then take the picture and put it in a bottle and throw it in the ocean. And then anybody else who was connected to the internet could get your bottle out of the ocean and see your selfie.
Oh, well, that's meta.
Did you know that?
I did not. Did you know that, listeners? Well, we've all learned something
They
today.
probably knew that.
Yeah, probably.
I knew that because I played it.
Look at this. There are 3 pine cones in here.
How are you going to get all 3
How
of them?
the fuck am I supposed to take all these? Board? I don't need this fucking board. Get that shit out of here.
What if you needed it for something?
No. Pine cones. Oh shit, book. This would go great in my collection. Wait a minute. I have this copy already.
Do you?
Yeah. This is already on my bookshelf.
Well, you don't need that.
No, I don't. What kind of garbage is this? Put that shit back.
We forgot about Firewatch. We were playing Firewatch.
Well, let's take this pine cone.
And throw it away.
And decide that, you know what? We're quite far away from our house now. We'll put everything back in the box, close the box. Maybe just admire the pretty view.
That's the thing. I really want to do another play. I just have to find the reason to do it. I really want to. I really want to go and make go get all the books and make a library in my house. That's what I want to do.
That's what you want to do in your Firewatch playthrough?
Yeah.
Alright, so we're reaching the end of our menu. We've got less than a minute left before this video cuts out.
Less than a minute.
So we can, I guess we can go ahead and end it here.
Let's end it.
Well, I think we've...
what are your thoughts?
What are my thoughts?
What are your thoughts?
On what?
On any number of things. I'm trying to be as vague as I can here.
Okay.
Just give me something to work with.
Any number of things. I think you should quit knocking the microphone over. Don't touch it.
God! Damn it!
That's the second wine glass you've broken today. We're never doing this again.
Goodbye.